Alrighty, hey there YouTube. So I'm in the Cummins conversion here, driving around, and I've got a problem with the engine. It's not revving past about 2,000 RPM, and I'm down power, and it'll kind of come back. Sometimes it won't. Like right now, I'm trying to accelerate. I'm in 4th gear, and it's got freaking nothing to it right now. Let me show you here. Alright, so I'm about 1,500 RPMs, kind of going downhill. That's all she's got. She won't go past like 2,200. And she's kind of belching out some bluish white smoke. Alright. I'm on like just a level grade here. I can't even, it just has no power. Alright, I'm in 4th gear right now. I'm about to hit a really big hill here. I'm going to shift into 5. Got a little power here, but not much. Now she's misfiring. Hitting a pretty large hill up here. I'm probably not even going to make it, but so I got to downshift. Yeah. I'm going to show you my speed, but I'm in 3rd gear here. I can't even. Normally I could fly up this hill. But it seems like it's running out of fuel. But we'll talk about how to fix this. I'm at like a dead crawl right here. This truck's getting really bad. I just changed the fuel filter in it, so I know it's not that. And the fuel filter looked really clean. This is like all of a sudden it got really bad here. I'm thinking it might be the lift pump in it. So I've got a brand new one right in the truck right here, but I would like to test the pressures on it because you can do that pretty easily. And besides that, there could be some other things like fuel lines sucking air in and all that. I kind of doubt it's that at this point. Maybe an overflow valve, I can check that. And worst case scenario, it's probably my injection pump going again. It is doing a different issue than it was before. I had the stuck barrel syndrome, they call it. That's definitely a different scenario where it'll, like, you give it full throttle, has no power, you let off and the freaking truck takes off on you. It's really weird. Had that happen one time to this truck. I'm doing like 10 miles an hour here, so, but anyways, I hope you stay tuned. We'll see what we can figure out here if you're having the same issues. So thanks for watching. Yeah, I can. I'm in 1st gear. This is not good. So here I am. I just got to the crest of that hill here, and I just kind of let it idle for a little bit, and I revved it up. I could rev it up to 3 grand with no load. Up here I can go pretty quick now, but now I'm crapping out again here. I don't know if it's an uphill issue either. It could be sucking air in from somewhere. Maybe downhill it isn't sucking air. There is an issue with Cummins that they'll do that also. But I'm thinking maybe by chance the fuel plate come loose on this injection pump, but I don't know. That's just a thought. So we'll see what happens. And that's what it does. The type of smoke I'm getting here. Just trying to make it up in 1st. Sounds like I got a Jake brake going on here. Alright, so I just got to the crest again, and now I've got a little more power. The fuel came back, so I'm wondering if that's related going up hills here. If I'm just not getting fuel, so we'll see what happens. Now I'm going downhill and everything's fine. I can actually give it some gas here. I'm probably doing 55 miles an hour now. That going uphill is definitely another variable in this situation here. Alright, so I just barely made it to, this actually happens to be my parents' house, but I've got my white truck here. I wanted to make a YouTube video of that, what I got to do to try to fix that, because it's not starting, and it was pinging, and now it's whatever. I came here to work on that truck today, and now this truck's acting up. And I was just talking about all the issues that it could be, but OregonFuelInjection.com has really good diagnostics on all diesels for trucks, pickup trucks, medium duty, I think it is, maybe late duty. Anyhow, I did stop at the auto parts store, and they had a lift pump available, and I picked that up just in case. And normally I would test that. It's pretty easy, but obviously I don't have a tester with me, and I need to get home. And so I'm just going to go ahead and change the fuel pump. We've done the fuel filter, so I can kind of cancel that out. Fuel restriction, I suppose maybe if there's, I guess something could have gelled up. It's kind of warm. It's like 50 degrees here. I might just blow on the main fuel line, blow that back to see if there's any resistance, if it clears out. I have done that in the wintertime when this truck has gelled up. I actually blew it right back with my own lungs, and that was enough to get me going. So I might do that in the process. So those are just some ideas of at least just trying to get you going there. Anyhow, thanks for watching. I'll show you if I get some positive results here. So here she is. I don't think I've even made a video about this truck here, but the lift pump is right down, it's down in here somewhere. It's not too hard to get at, but what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take the filter off because I just had it on. Shouldn't be too big of a deal. And you've got to remove, just to get some wiggle room with this line here that goes down to the lift pump that supplies the filter head. I'm just gonna remove this injector return line, just loosen that, and then loosen up the banjo bolt for the inlet pipe. And then I'm gonna remove the pipe off the injection pump. Okay. So here's the fuel from the fuel filter. I don't see any water in there. That blue thing's a paper towel, and there's just dirt and Mountain Dew in there. If you see any water, which I don't. I was expecting maybe to see a lot of water because when I disconnected the fuel line on this truck here, it looked like there was some water coming out of it. So, but I don't think that's an issue here. I'll show you under the truck. So on my conversion here, this bigger pipe is the fuel inlet or fuel feed, and that's the return line. And underneath here, I've got the old Chevy line here. I put a bubble flare so it seals a little better. And I put a vice grip on that rubber line just to hold the fuel from coming back, and I released the pipe and blew on that. And I didn't feel any pressure, so that's pretty good. I'm surprised it's not pissing fuel out right now, but I do have only half a tank, so it's probably not siphoning. But anyways, it's a little easier here, just disconnecting this fuel line right off the lift pump, because it's a real bastard to get this line off the lift pump because I put a barbed fitting on it. So I'm just going to pull that line off right with it. I'll probably shorten it because the line doesn't look too bad here, but it was kind of cracked and hardened up a little bit. But anyhow, we'll go take the pump out. Alright, as you can see with the filter removed, it's a little easier to get down in here. Alright, I've got a 13mm banjo fitting here. There's a rubber washer here that looks like crap, but whatever. And the bolt for it is up here. And then this is a 17mm. That was a little hard to get off. And I just loosened it. I didn't need to take it off. And that also has a seal in between that banjo bolt and down here between that banjo fitting on the head. So, alright. Anyhow, down here you can see that's the line that comes up right here. That's a 14mm head. So you can go ahead and take that off. And then down here, this truck, I deleted the fuel heater. And so I know the screen for a fuel heater is obviously not the issue on this particular truck. On Dodge, with the fuel heater, they have a screen in there that can actually be plugged, so that could cause some issues. And so anyways, I'm going ahead taking this lift pump out. It's two 10mm head bolts, and you can just get that with a ratchet and a long extension. And in between is the spacer, which is for the fuel heater, and you need to keep that on there for the correct space, and there's a gasket in between each. Anyhow, we're going to go ahead and take that out. Alright, so I've got the fuel pump here in a vise, and I just want to show up my setup here. Let me get this pipe wrench off. Pretty much all I have is a 1/2 inch, I believe this is a street elbow. And I've got two adapters down to a barb for a, I think it's a 3/8 line here. So, and that's all I have on that. Alright, so this is the other thing you can check when you take your inlet out, that there is a screen in these pumps that you also want to check. So you've got a total of 3 screens, which is in the tank. You've got one here on the inlet for the lift pump, and then there's also one in the fuel heater on a Dodge, and then you have the fuel filter. So those are the 3 big screens you want to look at. Alright, so here's a moment of truth. There's a great big hill here right where I broke down. I just put a lift pump in it. Didn't take too long. There's my wrench I've been looking for. I can hear it. There it is. Holy shit. I knew it was in my truck somewhere. Alright. 3rd gear. That was pretty decent. I don't know if that's quite what I remember it doing, but long steep hill, turns into a dirt road. It's in 4th gear right now. I'm just gonna throw it right in 5th, fuck it. Not too bad. It's a little slow here. Alright. That's not too bad. I shifted into 5th a little early, so that might have just been that turbo lag here. This is really good. Just doing about 1,000 RPM here in 5th gear. This would not have done that a minute ago, but I definitely need to drive it more to double check this. Up here on this dirt road where it flattens out, I'll see if I can get past 2,000 RPM. It's kind of rough up in here, and guys that are doing stuff like me that are ripping this road up, which isn't really a good thing. Kind of feel bad about that. Put the washboard in. Alright, so this is my test 2 here. This is kind of right after these corners here, it turns into a straightaway. I'm just gonna put it in 4th gear, see if I can go past 2,000 RPM once I get around here. It's a tight corner. Second test. I'm just gonna go past 2,000 RPM, see if I can do it. Last words, but I'm just gonna go up a couple more hills, test drive it more, and see if it's good. Alright, so I just gave it one pretty decent test up that last straightaway. I got into 5th gear. Now the truck is kind of slow, but naturally. But anyhow, I was able to get it up the red line in 4th gear on a straightaway going slightly uphill. and I shifted into fifth, and I went past 2,000, and without, you know, I had power, and the truck felt like it normally feels like, so that's really good. Yeah, I'm kind of lucky there. It was just a lift pump. I really didn't think it was a lift pump because I just changed it a couple of years ago. I didn't think it would have went bad that quick, but I don't know, parts these days are probably cheap. So granted, I just spent over $200 on that lift pump. And I would have liked to have tested it again, but if you're curious of how to test it, I do have kind of a shitty video of how to do it on my channel if you want to check that out. It's Cummins galley pressure, fuel pressure, whatever. That's what it's really called. A couple other things affect that. Overflow valve. You could have a fuel restriction. You could have air sucking through a line somewhere. I also, where the barb fitting is, that part of the fuel line was pretty crappy, so I cut it and shortened it. I had plenty of length on it, so and then, you know, your sock in the tank could be plugged up. You could have screens plugged up. So there are things to check. I kind of lucked out right now with this, and luckily I went and got a fuel pump for, you know. So if someone out there is having the same issue, I hope this helped you. So you know, subscribe, like the video, and thanks for watching. Take it easy. Bye.